Yes, here we are once again, as you become accustomed to. If it's Wednesday and it's noon Eastern time, it is time for the High Noon Hemp Show, which is why we're here because it is that time. Of course, you can find us in many, many places. Of course, the Facebook, if you still use Facebook, which I know a lot of people still do, is the Temptations Beach Facebook page. If you're on the YouTube, that's the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel. And on X, it's at Temptations. Of course, we are back. We are back. That's the video version. The audio version has returned now 3 full seasons. If you want to go back and relive the classics, 3 full seasons of the High Noon Hemp Show are up on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, and now iHeartRadio. A very quick approval from iHeartRadio. I have a podcast called Cannabis Stories. I've been waiting 3.5 months to get approved on iHeartRadio, but the High Noon Hemp Show was approved in like less than a week. So that's awesome. Go check us out.
They like me. They really, really like me.
They really want to help people not be able to see us. Is the key.
That's it.
But the information still gets out. They just don't have to look at us. So thank you, iHeart, for that privilege. I am Stoner Jesus. I do various things on the interwebs, which you can search out. He is Beach. He loves hemp, and he is from an undisclosed location somewhere in the high state area. Beach, how are things this week in the world of temptations?
It is beautiful weather. I know that.
It is.
And so I am, I'm ready for it. Let's see if it sticks around. But I want to remind everyone, and that podcast thing, it's going to be big. We're going to have all the seasons up there. As you can see, right. Stoner is working diligently to get all the seasons up everywhere. So maybe we can get that nomination even for podcast somewhere. I mean, eventually we'll have, and I would say that roughly around the time, it won't take that long, that we'll be getting to our 300th episode on the High Noon Hemp Show. That's got to qualify us for something on iHeart or Spotify or somewhere in the podcast world, right?
Want something? Give us something.
Come on. I do want to remind everyone that the FDA has not evaluated this show for safety or efficacy. And Stoner, do you know what else today is?
It's a very special day. It's on the tip of my tongue. It almost feels like people are clamoring for a T-shirt of it of some sort. What day is today, Beach?
Hemp Day. That's right. Every High Noon Hemp Show is on Hemp Day. And we are so happy that you are here. And we appreciate it.
Indeed.
My voice, if you're listening to the podcast at some point or another, you might tell my voice is a little deeper. I think I am recovering from some type of cold. So bear with me today. I'm going to try to get through this the best I can without coughing or sneezing on everyone. So we'll see how it goes. That also being said, let's go ahead and put our peace signs to our chests and do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the hemp fields of America and to the soil in which it is planted, one seed under the sun with responsibility, sustainability, and thrivability for all. That's right. Got to do that. Now, as always on the High Noon Hemp Show, it's the product spotlight.
Is that the new theme music for the Tyson product spotlight?
That's just a little intro.
Wow.
From I have to give Be Legit some credit. He actually has an album called Hemp and Ain't Easy, and of course, it's not the hemp we love and appreciate. It's the marijuana hemp that he's referring to. But that's just part of the intro. Though, have you got any hemp I can try? Do you have any hemp I can try? We do have hemp you can try. Yeah. And for the third straight week on the product spotlight, all of these products can be purchased on the eBay. That's right. The name right there it is. ERB, Son of Ma. I am also trying to put Hemptations more in the titles, so you can almost search through Hemptations. I'm including the High Noon Hemp Show in the descriptions, and so you might even be able to search the High Noon Hemp Show. I don't know how deep those search engines go when it comes. They should go everywhere, I would think. I mean, if the eBay's really doing its job right. So anyway, more products getting listed on the eBay and in the store, obviously. These are the Hemp Company long sleeve button downs. I think these are great. I use these more as like a spring jacket. I very rarely button them up or button them down. But we got different sizes. I've listed the complaint the first time I listed these is people wanted measurements. So I've included the chest measurement and the arm measurement and the neck and those things. If you're going to button it up and it's not really a collared button down that you would wear with a tie, but I have worn, if I'm going to wear a tie to an event, I wear one of these with a tie. The neck is kind of big for me. If you have the right neck, it probably look like it should. But again, durable shirts. I'm still waiting I need to get with my brother, and I almost texted him yesterday. I can't believe I didn't, because I still need to get his estimated time of wearing. I gave him one of the black ones when he was in high school. This was, I don't know, 20 years ago, probably. And I gave him one of the black ones, and he literally wore it every day until it didn't have any sleeves. It was shredded. So I'm gonna get the timeline on that, but it lasted quite a bit of time under the most extreme conditions for a shirt, if you ask me, a high schooler going into college. And so, it's got to attest to its quality at some point or another. I'll get that timeline. The next one from this is in perfect time, or at least around here. We're going to get 70 plus sunny today, so it's almost going to get hot compared to where we've been. So these are the Splaff flip-flops, and they're actually stitched together with hemp, and the soles are recycled rubber from inner tubes, and so are like the piece that goes over. These don't have as much hemp on them. The uppers are made out of hemp, and then the soles and the straps are recycled. Super environmentally friendly. On eBay, I've got a measuring stick, or I have to list some more sizes on these. So give me another day. I kind of forgot I have to list some more sizes, but I've got it so you can see how long they are. They're sized in increments of 1, so at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But shoe sizes are, you're better off to measure your foot. And so I've included that length in there so you can get the perfect splaff. And I promise within the week to have the natural colored ones listed as well, and to get the men's on there. And so we should have all these on eBay hopefully within the next couple weeks. The next one is the Hemp Mania iPad / tablet case. These are 8 by 10 inches, and they just have most of them, other than the black one's kind of weird. Most of them have a double zipper. The black one only has a single zipper. But they'll fit obviously any tablet, iPad, iPads quite perfectly. And again, any tablet that's under 8 by 10 in dimensions would work in there as well. Multiple colors to choose from. And if you need two and you want to do the same color, hopefully you like brown, because I did list 2. I think we have 2 brown ones, and I listed both of them. So, All right. And the last one is the Earth Dog. I'm going to get more color choices out there, but I listed all the sizes in the pink one because we have a lot of the pink ones. Now, I think it was Earth Dog that I saw on a list like years and years and years ago. It was like one of the most earth friendly dog accessory companies. And so we have, and I'll be listing, I'll be putting more collars and leashes and things like that online. But if you like pink and you want it around your dog's color, we got 3 different sizes ranging anywhere between 8-inch neck to a 30-inch neck. I think, I can't remember. I think it was 30. But, and again, you know, the smallest one goes from like 8 to 14. The middle one I know goes from 14 to 20, because there's your 1-4-20. I won't forget that. And then I think the big one goes from 20 to 22 to 30. I forget. Anyway, it's all on eBay, or you can come in and check it out. So there you have it from the store. Now, the one from my door is, again, a multitude, but I just want to put it in one category as press board. So these are the multitude of uses that I have found for hemp press board over the years, from shelving in the kitchen to the left in the middle there. Those are what I call stackable shelves. And we built a bunch of these, and then we have some that are even deeper, but the same height, so I can put them in multiple ways. This is the way I had them stacked under the TV for years and years and years. And then, of course, the pride and joy of all of it is the kitchen counter that we made at the house. Mary coated it, so we cut it all out for the kitchen and the sink. And then Mary coated it so it was totally sealed, which you have to do. Press board that's not sealed, hemp press board is not sealed, it kind of puffs up. It does not take moisture very well. So we sealed it. I half joked that the stuff we used to seal it was as bad for the planet as the hemp board was good. But that being said, we are, at least 10 years into the kitchen counter, and it looks just like it looked in this picture, honestly. And you really can get, if you look closely at that middle picture on the right there, you really can get lost in the intricacy of the pattern. I mean, it really is it almost reminds me, honestly, of like a granite counter, where it has there's a lot of things going on. It's got a lot of depth to it. It's just not boring, honestly. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. I've got more on pressboard. It's been a while since we've seen pressboard, but guess what, America? I don't know where it's coming from, and I hope it doesn't get hit with tariffs, but there is some that you can get or you can find here. So it's coming later. Stay tuned. I'm going to have to hang in there to find out more on that. So there you have it on the High Noon Hemp Show. The product spotlight. 4 from the store, 1 from my door. And don't forget about eBay.
Now, of course, not only do you come to the show for your hemp information and entertainment, or infotainment, if you will, you also now come for your latest information on the Guinness World Records, because I literally tell you all you need to know about the Guinness World Records and their complete ignoring of hemp and all of the hemp records that Beach has set and currently holds. If you go to the Guinness World Records Twitter X today, you see their pinned tweet. Nope, wrong one.
Whoa.
Hold on, gotta take this off. Put this on. There
Teaser.
we go.
You're teasing them now.
Yeah, not yet. Beach hasn't made it yet. This guy has, though. Lalit Patidar. He is the new hairiest face record holder in the world. He says, quote, "I like how I am. I don't want to change my look." Listen, that's very positive. I get it. Good for him.
Yeah.
But
jam on, dude.
this has been pinned for 6 days on the Guinness World Record X. This guy and the hairiest face record holder. Congratulations are in order. It doesn't feel right to congratulate him. It doesn't feel like he did anything other than he didn't cut his face hair.
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go. Guinness
So now,
Book of World Records. Where are we? Where am I?
now
Nowhere.
one day, I'll talk about the Guinness World Records and I'll say, you know what their pin tweet is today? There it is. It's beach. But that's not today. So we have to settle for just this. When I ask Beach, what are you wearing, Beach?
That's right. If you're curious, Beach, what are you wearing on this fine high noon hemp show day? Now you will know. Breaking out a classic. This is like a one of a kind. I would love to, if someone else in the world has one of these Hemp Town hats. That would be so cool. Hemp Town did awesome with t-shirts. I have quite a bit of Hemp Town shirts and whatnot. They were really economically priced, good quality stuff. They didn't make a whole lot of hats, but this is one of them. And I wear hemp as it is hemp wear. The shirts underneath my hemp company Jedi shirt is a Young Maven long sleeve. My pants, and I don't want anybody to panic, but my pants are actually Braintree from. I got these in Amsterdam 20 years ago when I was there, and they're kind of a cargo. They've got the cargo pocket, multiple kind of pockets over there on the side, and I don't want anyone to panic. All of my Greenspring Technology pens have been marked safe. I just forgot one. I just didn't have it in my pocket today, but they are all okay. So I don't want to panic anyone. Underneath it all, my Hemptopia boxer briefs. My socks are Satori Canaleaf, and those are some good old Saucony Jazz runners there. And again, I want to reiterate that the Saucony Jazz line, double check before you purchase, but I'm pretty sure that the Saucony Jazz line is their vegan line. I know these are part of their vegan line. And there's a lot of hemp in their vegan shoes, which makes complete sense. It is very difficult to shoe the vegans, honestly. There are such limitations one way or another. So there is one version of a shoe, and they're nice. They're very comfortable. I don't know if I'd actually run in them, but they are very comfortable to walk and stand in. That I will say for sure. So there you have it. The 293rd different outfit here on the High Noon Hemp Show. What are you wearing, Beach segment? All right, let's check out this classic commercial, and we'll be back with some news.
For wanting to save the earth or a healthy lifestyle? Well, maybe.
Hold on.
Hemptations is safe to take in any dose and will not cause horrible side effects. Take when needed for happiness and clean earth. Hemptations is available 7 days a week. Consult your local internet for more information on hemptations.com. Taking Hemptations includes food, CBD, body products, clothing and accessories, paper, pet goods, and much, much more. There is no cure for wanting hemp. Having Hemptations.
You don't need a cure. Let's go get some. Oh, you are muted, Beach. Can't hear you.
I don't know why that happens, but no cure needed. I wouldn't take it if it existed.
That's right.
And apparently, having the largest amount of hemp collection on the planet is not a cure, nor, of course, is it worthy of the Guinness Book of World Records.
No, not at all.
But is one of the records I hold. I welcome any challenges from any person that has hemp goods in any way. And, unless you've got about 150 at least different hemp goods just laying around, various stuff. I think I could definitely be challenged on my hemp clothing collection, even though it is vast. But there are a couple people I do believe that could very well challenge me for the amount of hemp clothes. But all in all, from head to toe, still would be difficult. Still would be difficult. So,
Okay, bring it on.
Just another challenge to the Guinness Book of World Records. I mean, I can easily fill 4 days of different pin drop or post page whatever with records. Different shirt every day, different hat every day. Largest collection of hemp goods on the planet. Largest selection of hemp goods in a retail shop. Those are the 4
There you go.
that I currently hold. All right, that's enough of that. Quit bragging, Beach. Let's get on to some news. We got some really cool stuff going on this week, I have to say. A lot of hempcrete in this week's news. But first and foremost, I want to get to Kentucky. People have been seeing it. I actually had a gentleman come in and he wanted to try the THC drinks because he was like, "Are these cheaper than they are in Kentucky?" And I said, "Well, if this bill passes, they're going to be." Because I don't know, but they're trying to. Well, they were trying to ban THC drinks, and that got like kiboshed pretty quickly. Now what they're trying to do is regulate, and the worst thing about it is that they want to put it under the guise of the alcohol, because the alcohol industry is who's wanting this. The alcohol industry is who's mad, upset about these THC drinks. And again, they have been the hot thing. And if you're in the alcohol industry and you're not producing these, then it's all your fault anyway. Okay, because these are replacing alcohol at bars. Because people don't want to get drunk. They want to enjoy themselves. They don't want to get drunk. And so this is the next drinking social habit. Okay, alcohol is on its way out. I know it'll always be around. But I can tell you, this industry, and that's why they're all up in arms. Instead of getting involved, they just try to shut it down. So now they're going to try to take charge of it in Kentucky. So hopefully they'll keep it out of the hands of some, maybe come up with their own division. I don't know. They're going to limit the amount of milligrams, which again, to me, is okay. It just makes the consumer drink more. And most of these THC drinks are seltzer waters, flavored waters, but not all of them. A lot of the ones we're seeing are using healthier ingredients. The ones that we have are using healthier ingredients. But if they're just making a drink to put the THC in it, they're probably not going to be using the best ingredients for you to be consuming a bunch of them. Nothing in moderation can harm you. But, if I have to drink a 6-pack of the equivalent of Mountain Dew to get the amount of THC that I want, then, that's sending my body in negative directions. I don't want that much sugar. I don't want that much, and again, seek out those drinks that are healthier, using better ingredients, less flavoring, natural flavoring. Again, artificial flavoring and artificial coloring have to be the 2 worst things humans have ever done to food. And I know this is all being addressed, and this is the way I have always felt. And I'm not saying that on occasion I don't consume some really bad food product or a drink that has either one of those. But on a regular basis, if it says artificial flavoring, or when usually they say artificial flavor, they don't tell you about artificial coloring. They just you got to look on the ingredients and see yellow dye number 17, red dye number 5, blue dye number 12. Again, dumbest thing ever. All right. You make it taste the way you want. If it's a root beer and it can taste like a root beer without putting artificial coloring in it, then just make a clear root beer. When I drink it and it tastes like root beer, that's what I want. I mean, Coca-Cola, I guarantee, because they use caramel coloring. I mean, it's in the ingredients, always has been. And Coca-Cola does not have to be dark colored. It just doesn't. I mean, it's one of the things that just drives me nuts, honestly. It's like you make a grape drink and you got to put artificial coloring in it to make it purple. When just tell me it tastes like grape and I'll drink it. And that's the same thing. I mean, that's what I implore the THC drinks being made out there is just to do the right thing and use the best ingredients you can. You're going to get the money out of it because you get the money out of the THC. So you might as well, spend a little bit more to use better ingredients. Um, um, and again, a lot of these people are obviously using this medicinally. And so no one wants to take a medicine that's in Coca-Cola. Okay, I have to drink 6 Coca-Colas a day to get my medicine. That's a ridiculous idea.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy a seltzer water every once in a while and get a decent amount of THC. Why shouldn't I be able to? Give me the option. And again, just like anything else, I always recommend people start small. Yeah, start with a 5 milligram drink. See how that makes you feel. If you want a 10 milligram drink, then maybe you should have one. I'm not saying drink a 6-pack of those and then go out and drive. But not saying that that's unsafe either, because there's no proof that it isn't. But those things should probably get worked out as well. But there are plenty of people out there that are driving on 100 milligrams of THC. I guarantee it. And I'm not against the studies. The next study on, and we've already proven that smoking marijuana, smoking cannabis, does not cause your ability to drive a vehicle unsafe. Okay, there's the studies have been done. Maybe we do studies on drinking it. Maybe we do studies on eating it, because right now edibles are the hottest thing in the market. So we need to find out if there's an unsafe amount of THC to consume and drive a vehicle. I'm all for it. Let's do the studies. We know how to do them. They've got the machines all over the place. You can they to do studies in driving, consuming things. There's been 2 pretty big ones on CBD. Prove nothing. So again, prove that there's an amount that's unsafe for us to have in a drink, and then limit it. I think the one thing that I thought was very interesting about all the things in Kentucky was the fact that part of this bill will direct the University of Kentucky Cannabis Center to study and report. So they have a year to study and report. So that's where I'm like, okay, well, I hope that one of those studies at the University of Kentucky Cannabis Center, wherever that is on THC, drinking THC, and driving. All right? Because if they find out that, I don't know, even 100 milligrams over the period of time, let's look at it like alcohol. If I drink, 10 milligrams per hour, 60 milligrams over a 6-hour period, does that change things when it comes to my inability to drive, operate a motor vehicle? I'd like to know. I really, really would. And again, edibles. Because again, edibles is, and I know that's not going to be a part of this, because this is really singly about hemp drinks. No other hemp products. They're really singling out hemp drinks. Of course, we got our own thing going on in Ohio, but I think that I think we're going to find that they just can't get away with what they're trying to, because I mean, the bill that they're trying to pass is so confusing to begin with. It just logically doesn't make any sense. It just really doesn't. So we'll see. They're trying to change things, and again, it's the will of the people that they're really trying to change here, and so I don't think they get away with it. Georgia is on the attack again, and I think this might be after drinks or products. I'm not sure. And in Texas, apparently in Texas, the police think that they have a hemp plague. So I don't know what that means, officer. Because the plague's worst reputation was it killed people. Are people dying in Texas from hemp? I'd like to see some proof of that. Let me see some death certificates, because plague connotates the worst of the worst results. But if it wasn't for the scare tactics of the police, we wouldn't have half of the stupid laws that we have. It's just job security for them. They know how to use scare tactics, and they love to use scare tactics. It's called propaganda, and it's just good for their paycheck. And it's not good for most citizens when, like, what does that even mean? And let's back that up with some data. So crazy. And of course, old hemp hater Newsom out in California, he has extended the emergency ban on hemp THC. He's extended that emergency ban on hemp THC. You can get THC on every corner in every city in the entire state of California, but it cannot be derived from hemp. I don't know what this guy's problem is. I really don't. I mean, I cannot. I mean, again, I do know what his problem is. He's in the pockets of the marijuana industry. He has to be. He has to be. There's just no doubt in my mind. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. All right, let's get on to some cool stuff. We got all the bad stuff out of the way early. We're like a Disney movie. Tragedy at the beginning, and then just it's going to be a boost of happiness all the rest of the way. I think, for the most part. Let's check out the first of many houses. This is the Challoner House, and this is in Clerkenwell. And this is, as you can see, multi-level. And what they're doing is they're using lime hemp plaster for its restoration and expansion project. So they're going to build on to this business, or into this building, and they're going to use hempcrete. And I don't know if they're using the hempcrete as the mortar for the bricks, or where the whole part of it comes together. But they mentioned how they are using it as insulation. So I don't know if maybe it's going to be something that they're applying to the inside as part of the restoration or not. But it's a pretty big project. And again, they're going to use that lime hemp plaster, better known as hempcrete for the most part. It's a good. And we're seeing this a lot in Europe, as far as the use of hempcrete. It's pretty big these days. And in fact, here is yet another. This is a single story hemp house that is approved to be built in New Forest, Hampshire, England. Obviously, this is a rendition of what it's going to look like when it's done. And I don't know if there's multiple buildings, or if I think that's all attached, maybe. All in all, I can't really tell
Yeah.
how that really is. But another project in England that got approved. It's going to get built That's a pretty simple one. It can be used simply. It can be used in some crazy ways. So, um, good hempcrete buildings. So this is some interesting things. So this is a picture of what's called Hempex. Okay, riggings. Now, how about this for some hemp trivia? So they wanted the riggings to look as realistic as possible in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So they found a company that makes synthetic rigging that looks like hemp rope. Don't just go find somebody that makes hemp rope and use that. Find this synthetic rope that is meant to replicate the look of hemp. And then in the article, which I love, and I quote, "True hemp, like old Manila, is a long fibered thing of beauty." It's so beautiful in its natural state, which we could have an endless supply of. All we have to do is grow more hemp. It's pretty simple. Or we can make synthetic that looks like. And from my understanding, it's really popular with the rich folks and their big sailing yachts and things because it's synthetic, but it looks authentic and classic.
Wow.
Yeah. So good that, again, now we know the Pirates of the Caribbean movies had to replicate it, which, good for them. That's a guarantee those ships would have been hemp rigging and hemp sails, and makes me wonder if they used real hemp sails or if they used fabric that looked like hemp. I'm gonna have to do some more research into that. Okay, here's a little bit of bad news. South Africa, which just recently legalized industrial hemp, has already banning hemp foods, and it all started with banning THC, which makes sense. THC is not legal in South Africa, from my understanding from this article. Everybody knows that. Okay, everybody in the hemp world knows. They put the same limitations on hemp. In fact, I think they even raised, if I remember, South Africa may have been one of the countries that came out of the gate with a 1% THC. And maybe now that's what's driven this bill. But if this passes, if they pass this, hemp food, grain, flour, oil, all of it will be under the guise of this. So zero hemp foods. And again, this is a food product that could feed the world with nutritional value better than almost all. If spirulina is the only one that has more protein. And then you can argue all the other omega-6, omega-3. I'll be talking about that here in a minute. So you're taking what I believe is the greatest reason to grow hemp everywhere in the world, which is the food product. And you're taking that out of the hands of the consumers in South Africa. It's, hopefully they get enough backlash to divide it up. THC, again, if it's 1% that they've allowed in the flour, and again, there's no THC in the grain, there's no THC in the seed. It's not going to transfer into the food product. It can't. It doesn't. If the seeds are clean, the amount of THC, and especially in a 1% THC plant, the amount of THC left on that seed is a parts per million issue. We're back to that 0.0000089% that some country, but which is fine because again, literally hemp food, it's a parts per million if it exists to begin with. You know, I would love to see 1,000 pounds of hemp seed tested, all of it tested for THC at some point, like shaken on it. That's all they do is shake it really fast to vibrate it, and that gets all of any debris and all the stuff off of it. And test it all for THC and see how much shows up, because it's going to be such a small amount that it will probably be about the same as the allowable amount of cockroach that you can have in food, because there is an allowable amount of that. It's a parts per million thing again, but you'd be amazed, parts per million, what is allowable in our food. But because it's such a tiny amount, just like it would be with THC, the amount that we could affect us is very, very, very small, but still allowable. Yum! Everybody eat up. All right, let's take a look at yet another architectural one. This one is really neat. This is the Arizi Aménagendre, and I know I always pronounce that wrong. They are huge in the United States, and they might operate in France as well, because I know that Janvre, and I know I pronounced that wrong. That's CHANVRE. That is hemp. That is French for hemp. So it kind of translates into AmeriHemp if you read it correctly. But this is just kind of a neat house, and again shows you how. And I don't know for sure if this was part of one of the prefab. I don't think so. But again, you can see how they build the basic structure of the house, and then you just fill it in with the hempcrete. And these guys, if you I would definitely consult them if you're thinking about building a hemp house. They've been working on a lot of projects, a lot of neat projects, and I do believe they know what they're doing. So find out for yourself. Check them out. But it's pretty neat place. Okay. So, in an article, 8 neuropathy supplements for nerve pain relief. And this was written by a registered dietitian who also has a Master of Science, and it was medically reviewed by another registered dietitian. So I think that this is, pretty accurate data here. Of course, now there's 8, okay? Of course, CBD is on the list, right in the middle or so. But hemp is actually on there 5 times. Okay, so 5 out of the 8 neuropathy supplements for nerve pain relief you can get from hemp. So, CBD, obviously, but also alpha lipic acid, omega-6, and gamma linolenic acid, omega-6. I'm sorry, omega-3 is the first one, omega-6, the second one. Hemp has the perfect ratio of omega-3 to omega-6. Okay, which means you're getting at least a good fair amount of those things if you're eating hemp food. Now, per 100 grams, so those were two more, per 100 grams of hemp, B6, or I'm sorry, there's also B vitamins, including thiamine. Okay, 100 grams, you can get 107% of your daily value in 100 grams of hemp, whole hemp. Pyridoxine, which is B6. You can get 35% of your daily value of B6 from 100 grams of hemp seed. Folate. Pregnant women, pay attention. Hemp seed contains 28% of the daily value of folate, or B9, which we know is important in fetal development. And then you have magnesium, which is also on the list. Okay, so you got the B vitamins, you got omega-3, omega-6, and then magnesium on the list as one of the 8. And with 100 grams of hemp seed, whole hemp seed, you can get 167% of the daily value of magnesium. And we're seeing, magnesium is one of the newer ones that I've been seeing. Maybe because hemp is decently high, or obviously way high in magnesium. And then we already know that magnesium is good for certain things. And so, there's just more proof that on top of the protein content, once again, those omegas, essential fatty acid content, vitamins and mineral content, hemp food continues to be a great choice to feed the world. And obviously help with nerve pain. I mean, come on. I don't even know what's holding us up. Yeah, we keep growing, we'll keep using. And I know that for a fact. I guess this is bad news, but it's kind of good news. Tennessee sheriffs in Madison County, Tennessee, Sheriff's Department getting sued for $3.9 million for illegally seizing hemp. I tell you, obviously I forget, there was another. I'm already, maybe it was Georgia, very close. Tennessee and Georgia, they must be on the same mentality of dumbness, because it was like $800,000 worth in Georgia, I believe. This is $3.9 million. Now, I think it was possibly just traveling through, not being grown there, but just, coming through, and they pull them over. They're not convinced it's not marijuana because it looks like marijuana and it smells like marijuana. But they don't take the time to test it, probably because they just think they know best. Well, I know what marijuana looks like. Well, it looks like marijuana to me. Arrest them. Steal that. Let's take that back. And I know that's exactly how it would go down. And so I don't know. Now, what I'm guessing is, because this is how a lot of times this plays out, the drivers of the truck were not, they seize it and then, go through all the rigoram. And by the time it gets worked out that it's hemp and it's legal, it's moldy in some police storage unit and it's rendered worthless, because that's what happened in Georgia, I believe, with the $800,000 worth. Is they seized it illegally and they held on to it so long, and then they didn't press any charges and they dropped it all and everything went away, but they didn't store it correctly and the crop was wasted. So they will be held accountable. They will be held accountable. And this is, once again, just goes out to any police department everywhere in the United States. Before you just assume it's marijuana, you better find out if it's not hemp. Ah, yeah. Press board. Here is is available currently in the world. You can, go to their website. I'm pretty sure that their website is their name, but anyway, you can just search that Cannabrand, and they're doing. And what it looks like here is that these are in fact sealed. So I think that they would be they would take moisture better. And I think that this could be something that you could put up instead of even like drywall, and just have a beautiful, I mean, I don't know, it has multiple uses. Shelving, all the shelves that we have, we use the press board. If we, modern time, I say modern times, like in the last 20 years. I forget how long I've been doing most of the stuff that I've been doing with this stuff. That's how long I've been doing it. But we use an unfinished or an uncoated, and it works well until you spill something on it, and then puffs up or whatever. But I don't have any pricing. I think they're trying to sell this by the pallet. I don't know what that requires, but if you had the project, I mean, it'd be like really cool to do a hempcrete wall for insulation, and then put this on it, and I don't know. There's so many cool things could happen. But shelving, and again, same as the hemp wood. This is different than hemp wood. Hemp wood in Kentucky. If you're looking for flooring, and you might be able to, this may be comparable to what you could do for flooring. Hemp wood makes flooring. It's a little bit of a different process than press board, but I think they do 4x4s, and some other stuff for hemp wood. But this is welcome, and I'm going to check into Hemp Traders. I used to get my press board from Hemp Traders. I don't know that he brings in press board anymore, but if he does, Hemp Traders is a great outlet for hemp material either way. Raw material, if you're looking for raw material, as well. So it'd be good to see. I mean, I would love to see hemp press board as an option at your local big box do-it-yourself hardware store or whatever. And I think that what they're trying to do here looks like provide a consistent material. That was the one thing about the press board I used to get as well, is some of it was really dense and heavy. We knew that it was going to be one type of shelf, so to speak. Like how I think we used the really dense stuff for the kitchen counter. Excuse me. Some of it was less dense, kind of fluffier, but it was lighter. And so, like the shelves and all those things, we would use it for that. And so that was, if you're in the construction industry, and I can see how this would be a bad thing, the inconsistency just wouldn't work. If you're going to try to put it up 4 sheets up on the wall, if those 4 sheets aren't consistently deep and looking, for the most part, then it's not going to look right. But I think the less dense would work better for that, because it is lighter, and you're still going to get the durability out of it, or and if you were going to paint it, I would definitely do that. But a lot of construction materials, from hempcrete to press board, fiber insulation, all these things we can do from a plant we can grow safely. It would be healthier because there's no chemicals. We're growing for the ingredients of press board or hempcrete. Hemp does not require any herbicides or pesticides. The only time they like to use herbicides or pesticides on it is if you're growing for the flower, maybe. But if you're growing for grain, it's a waste of money. You're growing for fiber, it's a waste of money. No reason to do that. let's all meet the hemp train. So this piece of machinery basically replaces what the old machine, which was a decortator. Okay, this particular machine, which is made by the Canadian Greenfield Technologies, okay, Canadian Greenfield Technologies, you put your hemp in one end, and basically by the time it gets to the other end, it is all divided up. It even will bale and whatnot. You know, this is the future of the hemp industry. And I always said, if the United States legalized, and of course this is Canada, and they've legalized and they've been in the grain industry forever, but the Canadians are just now starting to get into the stock, basically, aspect of the plant, which has drove this technology to come along. But you know, we could put one of these. We need to put one of these in every other state, at least in the northern part of the United States, where it's best to grow for fiber. That's the best place to grow for the fiber. You know, grain. I haven't really seen whether that northern latitude or the southern latitude, what kind of grain numbers. You can grow it anywhere, and you can get anything you need to get out of it for the most part anywhere. And so dividing it all up between the fiber and the herd that we use in the hempcrete or the animal bedding, it takes the lignin, which is kind of the natural glue, ends up in kind of a powder form. There has to be a use for that. I feel like as a binding agent or something, you know, I'm almost surprised they don't put the lignin back into the hempcrete and the lime mix. I don't, you know, I don't know the science of it all, so I'm just spitballing there. I just know it exists because it is it's basically the one thing left over once you've divided the whole plant up between the seed, the fiber, the herd. The lignin is kind of the last thing there. And again, it's kind of a powder form when it's all said and done with. And it's really the last byproduct of industrial hemp that we need to find more outlets for. Okay. We can use all the fiber we grow. We can use all the grain that we grow. We can use all the herd that we grow at this point. The popularity of hempcrete alone is driving the want and need for all that. So, now, what's really cool, okay, these guys developed this. They also were running around 3 years ago, 2022. They were running around North America redoing skate parks with hempcrete. And I can't believe I didn't know anything about this. But the other part about 2022 for them, which is amazing, is that they supplied the hemp for the luge and bobsled courses at the Beijing Olympics. So, and I read something about how they used the hempcrete because it was a more durable substance to use so they were literally luging and bobsledding on hemp in the 2022 Beijing Olympics. So that is some pretty fun stuff. All right. Well, that's all the good news and the fun news for this week here on the High Noon Hemp Show. Not too many events. We do have March 21st through the 23rd. You've got the Hemp Build Workshop with Sergey Kovalenkov. Again, here we go. There's some information for you. This is out in Monte Vista, Alamosa, Colorado. And again, preeminent hempcrete builder in the world. Again, I would guess, and I don't, I have no verification of this, that he has been involved, because I think it's over 100 hempcrete projects. That's probably more than any other human that I know of, for sure. So if you really want to learn from someone that has applied knowledge of this, Sergey is the guy. It's true. And again, if you want to use hempcrete as a building material in your business, that $300 is well worth it. You might have to get to Colorado too, but would definitely be worth it. April 10th through the 12th, we got NOCO going on in Estes Park, Colorado. And again, you can go to nocohempexpo.com for more information on that. The best, largest, greatest hemp expo on the planet, in my opinion. Go check it out. Make your own ruling. It'll be worth it. You're in Colorado at a beautiful time of year. Most more than likely, even if it snowed, the next day it would probably be 70. It's hard to say, but Colorado in April it's pretty beautiful. You got the mountains, you got the lowlands, do what you want. And this is kind of in the mountains, and so again, just adds to the beauty. And if you're 100% cannabis friendly, there are cabins that are totally happy to rent you a place and know that you're going to be smoking or using or whatever. They're all over as well. We stayed in one of those too. July 9th through the 11th, you've got the Hemp Beverage Expo in Atlanta, Georgia, which might be ironic because I think Georgia is one of those states. By the time this comes around, hemp drinks may be legal in Georgia. So that's going to be tricky. We'll see what happens there. We'll follow that closely. July 25th through the 27th, here in Waverly, Ohio, you have the Stargazers Cannabis Festival. We're going to have an interactive hempcrete workshop there. So if you want to do it, you're in the area, high state area is what I like to call it, anywhere around. Waverly is basically right in the middle of Ohio, if you look at it on the map. And not only are they going to be doing this, but hopefully, and again, I'm still working it out, and I think it's going to be super possible and popular, popular and possible. We might be doing a hemp paper making workshop hosted by none other, and we're still working with negotiations here, the host of the High Noon Hemp Show. That's right. So we'll see what happens. We're going to try to make that work out. Not only do I think that would be fun, but I think it would be neat just to show people this is how paper was invented. And then in October, out at the October 3rd through the 5th, you got plenty of time to plan for this one, is a hemp building symposium with the Lower Sioux Indian community. This is out in Minnesota. And again, this is on hand knowledge. They grew the hemp and they built the hemp houses. They have completed, at least I know of, one hemp house, and the project is to continue to build hemp houses, being as self-sufficient in the build as they can, as sustainable in the build as they can. And we've said it time and time again, grow the hemp. I think the only thing you have to find then is that lime. Now, if there's a lot of limestone, you could possibly mine your own lime. And again, everything stays local. No reason to bring anything in. The only other thing you need is water to work with hempcrete. And so again, these guys, I hate to be so flimmy, the Lower Sioux are taking hempcrete and hempcrete housing very seriously. And again, from basically seed to wall. all locally, for as much as you can. Which again, that's a big part of the construction industry alone, is how far stuff has to travel, which is not environmentally friendly. If we could, grow locally and build locally, it's just a good idea. You don't have to be earth friendly to know that that's a good idea. That's local economy, local housing. They will be making clothes, and I am almost surprised that they're not already weaving hemp material as part of yet another part of the byproduct of the hempcrete stuff. So, but I think that that too. Then I mean, it's all once again, it's all local. All right. Well, there you have it. I want everybody to know that I have not given up on my State of the Hemp address. I'm probably about halfway through. I'm taking this very seriously. I'm hoping that my words that I pick quite concisely make it to the ears of the current administration, because I truly believe that this is something that we need to do, we can do, and we should do. So hopefully within a week I can. And what I may plan on doing is a show that will be the State of Hemp address. So I'm hoping to have that soon to you, the viewers of the High Noon Hemp Show, lovers of hemp, likers of hemp. Maybe you hate hemp. I don't know how you can after this, but it is your right. It is your right. Remember, folks, reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Having Hemptations.
See you all next week.